what we've worked on is for you. I just kind of want to recap what we've worked on with Rachel a little bit. I just want to underscore how beautiful your sound is, how warm and lush and gorgeous your sound is. And I think for you, when we shifted this more from the 4 to a 2 feel, and that's a very general thing because the whole thing shouldn't be in 2, right? Dee da da dee dum bum 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 bee dum ba dum bee da dum bum 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 bee dum ba yum ba ga da ga da ga da ga dum bee da dum. That's in 4. Okay, so and then I want to underscore also that you pull apart your 16th note passages. You're going to practice them in tempo, but in small increments,
Right.
to work on evening those out and gradually weave longer sections together. Okay. So, I mean, I think you have all the makings to play this piece at a very, very high level. I wish the Mill Valley Philharmonic would program this so you could play it with them. So, good. Do you have any final questions before we move on to Jemay? I was looking over the cubes of everybody, and everybody's just kind of got this very serene, serene, soulful, faraway glance on their face. So your work here is done. Yeah, very, very nicely done. Very nice. I realize I should have just had you play the whole thing. We're
Oh,
so close. But why don't we just work on a few things and then
great.
maybe we can jump in and continue on to get you to the end, if you'd like. Good. I think you're playing with a lovely sense of control. One thing, again, this idea that how would you play this? You're playing unaccompanied, obviously, right? But how can we relate these, each part of the phrase a little bit more convincingly to each other? And one thing I think you can do is during the rests, maybe start preparing, thinking ahead a little bit more to the next entrance, a little bit sooner in a sense, so they're not late. I think what's happening, and I'm just a real stickler for rhythm, is each of those moments where you're not playing or getting sort of further and further pulled apart. And I understand why, because you're a clarinet player, and one thing that's so important to all of us is the quality of our attack. So, which I think you're doing a really beautiful job with. So if you can just get your placement set a little bit sooner so that we somehow connect up those, they all have to be crocheted together a little bit more. They'll have to relate to each other just a little bit more, if that makes sense. So like, can we just go to the very beginning and maybe think about that? So Kathy's going to play from the last movement. you're absolutely you're following all those directions perfectly. And what I mean that is I'm saying about just the symbols on the page, let's put it that way, the phrase markings, right? So
Hmm.
let's say you have point A and point B, and within that there are, let's say, a dozen phrase markings of varying length, and we could call those slurs or what have you. What I'd like to hear here is that when your tongue makes contact to the reed, that it's not maybe interrupting the line quite so much. So I want to play here from here just a little slowly. So let's do it slowly, rather sort of like it's a little on the gooey side. And this is a lot what I was working on with Jame, is the idea that you're maintaining this kind of horizontal approach to it that goes like that, very slight arching through the phrase. The melody is going to continue, and yes, you're going to do those phrase markings, but they're just going to be lighter, and you're not going to give up on your tone. So the tone is going to move through that as your tongue makes contact to the reed. Okay, because I want to see if we can just get a little bit more lyricism in this. So let me.
Super.
Well, great. Thank you all for being here. I could probably have gone on for another 5 hours or something, and yes, I really do mean that. But I think everybody play your clarinet, have fun, And I do speak very highly of Eric's book. It is exhaustively researched, and it is so full of interesting details, and I just can't say enough about it. So, all right, you
Great.
guys, thank you for being
Thanks,
here.
everybody. We're getting great applause and thanks in the chat. And it was really great to be together with everyone.